Tonight, we're learning more about that deadly case of domestic violence. Police say an Oxford man killed his wife and shot his mother-in-law. Tonight, there are signs he may have been in a jealous rage. Hi, everyone. I'm Ann Craig.
I'm Darren Kramer. The little town of Oxford still rattled tonight after a murder and a half-day manhunt today. Tonight, the paper trail shows us what looks like an ugly breakup that turned violent. Police say it all started around 5:30 this morning when 46-year-old Scott Galately forced his way into his estranged wife's home on Sioux Drive in Oxford. Police say he shot and killed 32-year-old Lori Galately and wounded his mother-in-law, Mary Jackson. His 1.5-year-old twins were in the house, but they were not hurt. Police say Galately took off in his dead wife's car, dumped it at a tire shop just up the road, and took off in a truck. The shooting set off a huge police manhunt. Hours later, they found Galately in his truck behind an old KFC restaurant in Winstead, apparently trying to kill himself.
There's a hose from the tailpipe going to the interior of the car. The officers and trooper made entrance into the car. Were able to revive the subject in the car.
Police aren't saying much about a motive yet, but this is Scott Galately's Facebook page. We're protecting the identity of the kids in this picture. That apparently is his estranged wife, Lori. On this page over the last couple of weeks, a bunch of family photos have been posted along with rantings alleging that his estranged wife had an affair and also alleging that he caught her in the act. Here's a quote from that Facebook page on April 22nd. "It's so sad that a woman can make a decision and change a whole family's life. How could you break up something so sweet, up and innocent? All for a sleazy affair. How sad there will never be pictures like this again. How can a mother make a decision like that and ruin everything? Why? 2 days after that post, Lori Galately filed a restraining order against her husband. She talked about violence and fear. From her affidavit, quote, "He did not take his meds with him. He acts out very violently, and I'm afraid for my kids and myself." People who knew the couple at this restaurant not far from their home cannot believe what happened.
I'm really surprised. It looked harmless. I mean, that kind of person to look so harmless and to do what he did really shocked me, like make me speechless.
Scott Galately is still being treated at the hospital tonight. His mother-in-law, Mary Jackson, is in critical condition. Galately has a court date scheduled in the morning. If you want to read all those court documents, they are on our website tonight at WTNH.com.
Well, so far this year alone, 6 people have died at the hands of people that they once loved.
And now domestic violence advocates are calling for stricter laws on restraining orders in this state. News 8's Stephanie Simone digs deeper into this tonight. She's live in our New Haven newsroom with more. Stephanie?
Darren, and according to court documents, Lori was trying to get a permanent restraining order. Now her children won't grow up with their mother. We spoke to those on the front lines of this issue on what they think should be done.
Love turns to fear, and in this Oxford home, it escalated. Police say children lost their mother at the hands of their father.
Obviously, this is a huge tragedy for this poor woman and her family.
It's a tragedy. Hartford Hospital's Dr. DeAndrea Joseph sees in her emergency room every day. 3 to 4 patients a month fight for their life from injuries stemming from domestic violence.
We've had a recent event with someone who was assaulted with knives, and it's very unfortunate. We see both sexes, obviously more female than male.
And when it comes to restraining orders?
Putting in restraining orders makes sense, except you're dealing with people who don't respect the boundaries, don't respect the laws.
Before police say Scott Galately shot and killed his estranged wife, Lori, this morning, Lori filed a restraining order. It was a temporary one as they waited 2 weeks for a hearing. That hearing was scheduled for tomorrow, meaning he could still legally carry a weapon.
During that 2-week time frame, which is the most dangerous, critical time for a victim of domestic violence, there's no provision to protect them from gun violence.
It's a law she'd like to see changed.
Take away guns for the 2 weeks, just for those 2 weeks until there's a permanent hearing, so the victim can stay safe.
We spoke to a psychiatrist today. She says a partner could be abusive if they're showing signs of controlling, being threatening, and jealousy. If it escalates, document any threats or abuse with the police. Oftentimes, the victim feels trapped. If you know a victim or if you know someone in a relationship like this, there is a 24-hour hotline. Just call 1-888-774-2900. Live in the newsroom, Stephanie Simone, News 8.